Alright everyone, the wait is finally over. Hello everyone and welcome to Death Battle Discussion. This is episode 4 of this series and today we have Hulk vs. Godzilla, the banes of mankind's existence from the Godzilla and Marvel universe. They have shaped the very fabric of reality and have destroyed many universes, but only one could be crowned king of the monsters. So before we get into this debate, I wanted to go over a few things. One, both of these characters have existed outside and inside the Marvel/DC universes, meaning that both of those characters' power scaling can be from multi-universal to theoretically limitless and universal depending on which universe we are discussing. Another thing I would like to mention is that if you've not watched the Hulk vs. Godzilla Death Battle episode, there will be spoilers ahead, so be warned. So yes, I did watch the Godzilla vs. Hulk Death Battle episode, and I did not necessarily agree with the lowballing that they used for Godzilla clearly, because they obviously scaled Godzilla's power clearly lower than Hulk's, even though Godzilla has been to the Marvel, DC, and multiple other universes where he's easily scaled to many powerful characters like the Hulk. And when I do this analysis, I am going to do my very best to try to put these characters at their peaks when it comes to their greatest strengths, which is of course power and durability and speed. I will go over a few other things, but I want to mainly focus on the power and durability debate between these characters, since it seems to be the most important when it comes to this outcome. So without further ado, let's begin. Hulk, without a doubt, is one of the strongest characters in fiction. Hulk is capable of upholding a mountain, he can destroy planets and universes, has defeated many of Marvel Comics' strongest characters. In his base form, Hulk has effortlessly crushed the combined effort of the Avengers, the Fantastic Four, and even the Warriors of Asgard. He can bend and break adamantium, which is one of the strongest materials in the Marvel universe. When taking Hulk's peak power, there are two versions of Hulk which come to mind, which are of course Worldbreaker Hulk and Immortal Hulk. Worldbreaker Hulk is strong enough to fight the likes of Doctor Strange under the power of the Demon Zom, the Sentry, and Black Bolt, which are all characters that can threaten the Marvel Universe. Immortal Hulk seems to be another strong variation of Hulk, which is capable of destroying multiple universes and planets, can scale to Thor with the Odin Force, who is strong enough to oppose the power of the Shadows in the Marvel Universe, and many other characters. Many other powerful characters such as Dormammu, Mephisto, and Thanos have also claimed that they fear the Hulk's power or are lost to him. Taking into account, Hulk is easily at an omni-universal to infinite power level depending on which version, and can even exceed this depending on how angry he is. Godzilla himself has also proven to be one of the most powerful characters in fiction. When Godzilla enters the fray in any situation, you know bad stuff is about to go down. Godzilla has defeated many powerful kaiju such as King Ghidorah, Destroya, Gigan, Space Godzilla, and much more. He has fought the likes of many powerful Marvel and DC characters such as Thor, Hercules, Hulk, a Celestial, Fin Fang Foom, Superman, Green Lantern, and many more. Godzilla has opposed the might of the Greek pantheon, God and the devil himself in the Godzilla Goes to Hell comic, and many others. And he's even fought himself? Oh wait, no, that's just Mechagodzilla. Oh wait, no, that's actually just Space Godzilla. Oh wait, no, that's just Bylon. Oh, never mind, I'm getting off track. Godzilla has many variations, such as Showa Godzilla, aka the movie Godzilla, Godzilla Earth, Ultima Godzilla, and the comic version of Godzilla, which is easily the strongest version of Godzilla. Now, I know the Death Battle episode tried to make a point that Godzilla Ultima was basically Godzilla at his peak strength, but I highly disagree with that. There have been many Marvel comics where Godzilla has effortlessly beaten the likes of many powerful Marvel characters such as Doctor Strange, Thor, the Incredible Hulk himself, Hercules, a Celestial, and has even killed a Celestial. Not to mention in the recent Marvel comics, Godzilla has literally and broken the fabric of reality somewhat in the Marvel Universe in the Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe comic, which has recently came out. This of course would also put Godzilla automatically at omni-universal to potentially limitless when it comes to power. When it comes to the power debate between Godzilla and Hulk, this is a very interesting debate. Initially, I think Godzilla has the edge when it comes to power, mainly because Godzilla is a character who has proven, even in his base form, against many powerful Marvel characters and without outside help, that he is capable of defeating Celestials, overpowering Thor and Hercules and the Incredible Hulk. So yes, I definitely think Godzilla would initially win this debate. However, the biggest issue when it comes to this debate is that Hulk is a character that becomes stronger the angrier he is. So in the long run, Hulk would automatically then be the winner of this debate. So for the most part, I really do think the power debate could go either way and can easily go in either character's favor. It just mainly depends on how long the fight goes for. Both of these characters are very durable when it comes to fighting many cosmic and powerful beings in their respective universes or outside of it. Hulk can withstand Wolverine's adamantium claws, Johnny Blaze's blast from Galactus, and etc. However, if he faces an opponent stronger than him like Hercules or Odin in his base form, he will typically revert to Banner. This would of course make him human and easily susceptible to being killed. However, if we're taking Hulk at a fully enraged state, such as World War Hulk or Immortal Hulk, he is essentially immortal and won't be put down. Hulk is literally unstoppable and won't be stopped unless he allows himself to be. This is again why many powerful characters in the Marvel Universe fear him, because they know how unstoppable the Hulk can become in a fully enraged state. This would automatically put Hulk at an omni-universal level of durability. The Green Door also allows Hulk to survive the ability of death many times. Also prevents the Hulk from dying multiple times depending on the situation. And of course, Godzilla, like the Hulk, has amazing durability as well. Godzilla can battle many kaiju at once, many Marvel and DC heroes, and he's even fought the forces of God and the devil himself and came out almost unscathed in most situations. Although Godzilla has lost most of his body mass and assumingly died in certain movies, Godzilla has always regenerated and found a way to come back. The comic book version is even more insane, considering Godzilla can lose 90% of his body mass like the Hulk and can quickly regenerate in seconds in many instances. Godzilla has survived the center of a black hole, a meteor 3 times without even flinching, and of course battled many characters in the comics. This would also put Godzilla automatically at an omni-universal level of durability. So when it comes to the durability debate, both of these characters are pretty similar when it comes to this category and don't really have an edge when it comes to it. Hulk has survived a nuclear bomb on the planet Cigar, Godzilla survived a meteor with the same power, Hulk destroys a planet or a universe and survives. Godzilla practically does the same thing when he makes a crossover or does something else in either his universe or in another universe. So yeah, the point being, both of these characters are very hard to put down, and honestly, I think this part automatically right here is kind of why neither one of these characters would really be able to kill each other, because they're both basically immortal and can't really die. When it comes to speed, both Hulk and Godzilla can surprisingly move very fast. Hulk can leap many long distances and can even leap from Earth's atmosphere into outer space. Hulk can react and keep up with characters like the Sentry, Thor, and Quicksilver, who are considered to be the fastest characters in the Marvel Universe. This of course would automatically make Hulk massively faster than light, and even higher depending on how angry he is. Although Godzilla is a character that typically lives underwater, which is his home, that doesn't necessarily make him slow on land. He can react to faster than light fictional characters like the Hulk, such as Megaguirus, Thor, Superman, Quicksilver, and the Flash. Theoretically, this would make Godzilla faster since he can react to Superman and the Flash, but Hulk has also made crossovers with the DC Universe and has even fought characters like Superman. So, overall, Hulk and Godzilla pretty much can keep up with each other, and I don't really think either one would have an advantage when it comes to this debate. So what I did find interesting about the Death Battle episode is how they incorporated Bruce Banner's massive intelligence combined with the Hulk and used that as a way for the Hulk to win, because Bruce Banner would eventually find a solution to defeat Godzilla. I think this is an interesting take on this debate, but I don't really think Banner's influence would be that much of an impact when it comes to a debate like this, since many variations of Hulk, such as Worldbreaker Hulk or Immortal Hulk, tend to take over more than Banner does in situations like that, since Hulk, when he's usually typically enraged, doesn't really go back to reverting to Banner and simply stays as Hulk. Nonetheless, since the Hulk does somewhat retain some of Banner's intelligence in different forms, Hulk still is a very smart character in that regard. Godzilla is also a very smart character. He has lived for many thousands of years in the Godzilla universe. He is a very well and adept combatant when it comes to fighting other characters, and is pretty skilled when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, and can use certain and is aware and can use certain surroundings or use certain things to help him in a fight. Still, I do think Hulk has the edge when it comes to intelligence, mainly due to Bruce Banner, who is one of the smartest characters in the Marvel Universe. So because of that, Godzilla loses that debate. So in conclusion, Godzilla is initially stronger than Hulk when it comes to power, but Hulk in the long run would become much more powerful. Both characters are pretty much on the same level of durability and speed, and Hulk of course wins the intelligence debate. Of all the debates I have ever seen, discussed, or known when it comes to a fictional character, this is by far the closest debate I've ever seen. I have done a lot of research for this debate, and I have come to the decision that this debate can literally go either way. I'm not saying it's not possible for Godzilla to kill the Hulk, because yes, Godzilla could possibly just eat him, he could tear him with his claws, or tail slap him, or even throw him into outer space, but still, I don't really know if there's a way Godzilla could possibly kill the Hulk that way. Now for the Hulk, you could make the same argument, since some of his attacks are somewhat nuclear based, but typically most of Hulk's typical attacks are usually based on more of his power and brute strength. The recent Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe has had a recent issue where Godzilla and Hulk have fought each other, and I think this is honestly a really good example of showing how a matchup or a situation would most likely look if the two were to fight each other. So basically, Godzilla and Hulk had a pretty good fight for the most part, but Godzilla eventually used a nuclear pulse, which basically knocked out the Hulk and forced him to revert back to his smaller form, even though he was in a bigger form at the time while he was fighting Godzilla. And personally, I feel like that this is probably what would most likely happen in a situation where if the two characters were to fight each other in a battle to the death, where either one, Godzilla's nuclear pulse would just completely take out the Hulk, or two, it would just simply knock him out for a bit and would probably just force the Hulk to get even angrier over time. And realistically, it would either one, give Godzilla the perfect opening he needs to take out the Hulk, or two, it would just simply make the Hulk even angrier and madder as the fight continued on. And if you really want to, you could also use the Maestro Hulk example, where Maestro Hulk literally got disintegrated into literal dust particles when he had to take on the full brunt of the nuclear bomb that was basically responsible for creating the Incredible Hulk in the first place. But the major difference is that you have to understand Maestro Hulk is an older version of Hulk, which is probably not as durable or strong as most versions of Hulk, which is why I think if you take the example where Godzilla fights Hulk and ends up using a nuclear pulse at a very similar level of the nuclear bomb that killed the Maestro, you could definitely look at it in the sense that an attack like that would either just knock out the Hulk, or it would just probably make him unconscious for a few moments, but then Hulk would probably just get back up and be... I could also make the argument that since Godzilla is a character that doesn't really like to fight a character that knows that he's down, would just assume that if the Hulk was knocked out by his nuclear pulse, that he would just probably be dead. So Godzilla might not have a reason to attack the Hulk if he was unconscious, and that might give Hulk the opportunity and advantage he needs. But still, either way, like, this is just a very close debate where I feel like a lot of hypotheticals mainly would determine who would win this fight, and that's kind of why it's just a very difficult situation for either character, because although Godzilla does technically overpower Hulk at the beginning of this fight, it's very hard to determine whether or not Godzilla could kill the Hulk. I mean, he definitely could at the very beginning of the fight, but if it ended up being a situation where that doesn't happen, then it ends up going into the Hulk's favor eventually. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next debate.